Welcome, State Auditor Dave Yost.
Thank you. Thank you, Beth. My hair has receded, but my commitment to the cause of life is not. You know, since the videos have been released, I have watched the coverage of the response from Planned Parenthood with a lot of interest. You see, when I was a newspaper reporter many years ago, one of the things that I found to be true is that when a politician got in trouble, first thing they started doing was talking about all their other good works, trying to divert attention. And I've noticed Planned Parenthood has taken a page out of that book, and it doesn't really want to talk about what's on these disturbing videos. They want to talk about medical research and the good works that they do. Well, the same holds true when I became a prosecutor. I always heard when a powerful person got in trouble with the criminal law, first thing they wanted to talk about was not their responsibility, not accountability. They wanted to talk about all the other good things that they did, anything but why they were in court. The rationale that I've seen advanced in the news media is that they're not really paying for these parts, that they're just taking fees to offset their costs. There was another video this morning that was released. Have you seen this yet? Probably most of you are on your way up here. But there's another video, a doctor out in the Rockies that works with Planned Parenthood was caught on video, suggesting that they wanted to harvest parts of the aborted children and sell them individually. The quote was, "I think a per item thing works a little better, just because we can see how much we can get out of it." That doesn't sound to me like covering costs. Maybe I'm a suspicious old former prosecutor, but that sounds an awful lot to me like a profit motive. It sounds a little bit like what happens when a car thief steals a car. To sell the car whole, you might get a couple $1,000. What do? They send it to a chop shop and cut it up into the individual parts and sell them retail. It goes to the question of what exactly is happening here. And I think there's substantial questions. Folks, not just we who stand here, but all the folks that will look at the coverage of this event today, I encourage you to rethink what's going on here with Planned Parenthood. You see, this doesn't have anything to do with the doctor-patient relationship. By the time these questions come up, the doctor-patient relationship has run its course. The treatment has been rendered. This doesn't implicate women's health. At the time that these issues come up, it's already past the fact of any decisions impacting the mother's health. There's nothing similar to a mammogram and selling human parts. This is the time for us to get past, as a country, as a state, as communities across the state, the divisive politics of abortion, and to recognize that what's going on here goes so far beyond these other issues that it warrants rethinking. It warrants all of us coming together to end this practice. It is not too... It is not too much to think that if this is unchecked, if this is allowed to stand, that the day will come that the horror stories of science fiction, of black markets for body parts, could become a reality, and all the economic incentives that go along with that. So I appreciate the opportunity to stand with you today. I think that this goes beyond the debate that we have had since Roe versus Wade. and that all people of good conscience should be able to stand up and to say that this is something that as a country we do not want to see go forward, regardless of whether we adhere to a view that's pro-life, as I do, or we are pro-choice or agnostic on a question. Thank you.